This episode is brought to you by Rosen Media Consulting. Rosen Media is the gold standard for social media strategy in pageantry. Whether you're a contestant or a business or even a pageant system, Chloe at Rosen Media will help you tell your authentic story and achieve your social media goals. She fully believes that if you have a cell phone, you have the power in your palm of your hand to change the world. Check her out on Instagram at Rosen Media Consulting or email her for more information at rosenmediaconsulting@gmail.com. This year, my social media game has definitely been killer. I've been using Chloe for the past year, and she has helped me rebrand and find my true authentic self on Crowning Moment Podcast. So don't forget to check her out at Rosen Media Consulting on Instagram. Hey guys, welcome back to Crowning Moment Podcast, How to Find the Pageant for You series. I actually recorded this entire episode one time before and didn't add myself to the online studio. So we're doing it a second time. Good thing I just had to get a little prep practice in there to get my thoughts rolling. So today we're talking about researching different pageants. Now that we figured out from last week what type of pageant, whether it be scholarship, talent, whatever type of pageant you're interested in participating in, let's start researching the different ones of those specific types of pageants. Now, we're looking online for some locals, some state, some nationals, and this is something that you can easily also ask around. If there's people in your, friend group, your community, ask them, if they're competing in pageants, "Oh, I saw you competed in a pageant like this. How do I get in touch with that director?" Or you can go to trusty old Google and Google up Pageant Planet, and you can go and see what pageants are out there. You can search up by what types you want on there, as well as joining Facebook groups. I know that sounds weird, and we did touch on that in the last episode, but there is literally a group for everything online. Be careful which ones you join. Again, stranger danger, stranger danger. But we're looking to find something that interests you, but as well, let's talk about it. You've picked the type of pageant, but what are you actually getting out of this pageant? What is this pageant going to give you if you were to win? And I get we don't go in it just to get recognition or, get something out of it. You want to go for the greater good of, I want to compete and I want to prove to myself that I can do this, or you're in it for scholarship money, whatever you're in for it, have that goal, but also it's nice to get things out of something that you're competing in if you were to win. So what are you looking for? If you're looking for scholarship, are you maximizing on those around you? Sometimes, hear me out, I even hate saying this, sometimes it's better to do the local pageants and rack up that cash instead of having to fork out more than you possibly could get in the end. I know I said it, everybody's going to be so coming at me, but truly, sometimes you have to go to the local pageants to win that scholarship money because it's going to be a quick return on that investment. Pageants really are just like business. You have to look at it like you have a business plan. They always ask, what are you going to do with your year as this title 30, 60, 90-day plan? Girl, you're basically an employee at this point. So let's talk about that. What are you going to get out of it? If you're now the employee of this business, you have won the pageant, you already got it. What are you getting out of this? And when I tell you, protect yourself at all costs, you get everything in writing. If they say you're getting it, you get it in writing. If there's numbers, you get it in writing. So let's talk about the things that you can get out of this and what is the goal of even competing in these types of pageants. All right, guys, so talking about the type of pageant you're competing in, say I want to go compete in a pageant with talent. Does this scholarship possibly give me a spot to try out at Juilliard or something cool and big like that? If so, what are you doing to prepare for that type of pageant? Have you thought about your coaches? Have you reached out to your singing teachers? You have to really think about if this is an investment that you're looking into. We're not going to give it 2%. We're going to give it 110%. You give it all you got because there's nothing left. You give it all you have. Or you're going into a scholarship pageant. If you are getting ready to go to college, or maybe you're looking to college in the future, college is not cheap. I'll tell you that. I went to a 4-year university. It's not cheap. But going into it, I also had a couple grand that I had won from the Miss America organization when I competed as a teen and a miss that helped go to pay my first year of college. This is helpful. Pageantry really can be a great tool to have in your toolbox, as well as the things that you get out of these different pageants. So you really have to hone in on, now you know what type you want. Now you got to know which ones you're going to get more bang for your buck. Pageantry is a business. Let's just play it plain and simple. It's a business. So now that you're going to go and be an employee for this company, what are you getting out of it? It's always there. It's a two-way street in pageantry. It is a two-way street. And I said it. I said what I said. But what are you getting out of it? If there's a great prize package that's going to benefit you and push you further in your career, or possibly push you to go to college, gives you more opportunities that you never would have expected, why would you not do it? So now you've joined your Facebook groups, or you've gone to Pageant Planet and you've subscribed to some groups or looked them up. I want you to go to Google and I want you to research about that specific pageant. So say you want to know more about, I won't say it because I don't want to get sued, any of the big three. If you know in pageantry the big three, it's the big three. So look up, any of those big pageants. Are there any news articles? Are there any negative items that come out? And I want you to read them. Good, bad, or ugly. It's better for you to know now than to join a system and not know it all. I've done plenty of systems in the past where the directors were fantastic to me before I even got there. All the girls are so nice. The title holders were amazing. But then you get there and you go, oh, this is not what I signed up for. I am someone that always preaches, do your research. And even sometimes your research may not be enough. It may not. But as long as you've done some sort of research, I'm giving you that checkbox. Like, congrats. So I want you to go to Google and type in whatever the name of that pageant is, and I want you to hit search, okay? In the next tab, pull up Facebook. And I want you to go to Facebook, and I want you to search that pageant up. Usually, since they're business accounts or event accounts, they'll have ratings and reviews. We're going to go look at our ratings and reviews. And then I also want you to pull up Pageant Planet, because they have ratings and reviews. Sometimes you have to sift through the really bad 1 stars because you realize it's a angry mom or an angry grandma or a dad. You have to really look at it and dive deep into reading it. And I'm talking about, we're looking for venue, talking about the events that they did, not just it was a rigged pageant. There's a lot of rigged pageants out there. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. There are some people that have really bad intentions in the pageant industry, but that's something that you try and avoid as much as possible. That's why we're doing our research. So once you found these comments, concerns, questions, these are things that I would talk to girls that have competed in these pageants. Don't be afraid to not waste your time and money. If I could go back and tell my mom at 10 years old, like, Mom, did we research this pageant? Is it real? Is it a legit pageant? Is it actually registered and trademarked? Yes or no? Because if so, all right, let's go do it. Because then I know that, at the ripe age of 10, I wasn't wasting my mom's money. But now it's more personal when you're wasting your own money. If this is something that you're truly, truly invested in, you're going to do this research. And I know it sounds scary because you're like, I want to live in my rose-colored glasses in rainbows and unicorn land. I did it. I was there for a long time. But when I say the cloth got ripped from my eyes, whoo, girl, that's something that we can talk about at a later date. So now you've gotten all your evidence. I want you to print it out. I want you to highlight it. I want you to look at it. And if there's questions in there that you've already joined the pageant and want to ask somebody about, the person you ask is the director. Hey, I just want to make sure that I'm not misunderstanding anything. I'm not missing anything. Here are my questions and concerns with competing in this pageant. In my brain, because I'm someone, I love to just go ahead and confront the problem at the get-go. Go ahead and take the problem on, solve the problem, move on with our life. Just move on with it. But if people are trying to hide things from you, you do not need to be in that pageant. You do not need to waste your time. I know pageant people out there are going to be like, this is so controversial. But honestly, if you would have thought twice about that one pageant that did you wrong, would you have done it in the first place? If you would have known the outcome of the weekend and all of the things you would have had to deal with, would you have done it in the first place? More than likely, you're going to say no. So these are questions that you need to go ahead and be prepared to ask, if not be aware of. That if something gives you, oh, that's a red flag, I don't like this, you get a bad, eerie feeling, you've already figured out what the eerie feeling could be and where it could be coming from. I am just simply here to get you to learn and remember to protect yourself at all costs. This is protecting your peace, truly. So when I say research a pageant, I truly mean research that pageant. Okay, guys, that may have been a little intense, and I do apologize, but I am serious. I want you to protect yourself, protect your pockets, protect your well being and your peace, because you are the queen of your castle, like Maria the Pageant Gal always says. So I will check you out next week on another episode of How to Find the Pageant for You. Bye, guys. Are you looking to rebrand your social media or even your business? This episode was brought to you by Rosen Media Consulting.